You've heard me yap and whine about the overabundance of subscription services literally wringing people's wallets like towels just for the most basic of services and products. Pretty much everything now is trying to ham fist a subscription into the business model to always be able to hose you down and shake you down for your lunch money. Obviously, the biggest culprit and the one that has really pushed the needle on this practice of subscriptions for everything is streaming platforms, and this is one that I have endlessly hawked loogies on. There are now more streaming platforms than there are pizza places in America, I imagine. There is a new streaming platform born every day for the most hyper niche shit, where they might have 5 titles but still charge you like $15 a month for the privilege of watching all 20 minutes of content they have on their service. It's terrible. Not only that, they have the gall to keep increasing prices, even though these behemoths have their catalogs weakened constantly because it's so cannibalistic, where they'll lose the licensing rights for a season of their show and it'll get picked up by a different streaming platform. Like Pokemon is the most infamous example, where in order to watch every season of Pokemon for the whole series, you would need like 12 different subscriptions to 12 different services because all of them are divided so like chaotically. And that's the song and dance for so many of these streaming giants, where their catalog keeps getting weaker, yet they keep charging more for it. Like most recently, HBO Max announced their price increases, much to the chagrin of any sensible person on the planet. It's just so expensive, and it's just out of control. But I don't want to just yap about something that I've already blabbered on quite a bit. Instead, I want to focus more specifically on just how awful subscriptions have become for every industry ever. It has infested everything. It is an infection that is showing no signs of slowing down. It is spreading everywhere, and there is no better example than what I just learned about. Coming straight from Kohler's asshole to your asshole, they are introducing a toilet accessory that's basically a little camera that'll analyze your poop for you. And guess what? You have to pay a subscription fee for the privilege of having your fecal content analyzed here. So you get a shitter attachment here, like you're making a fucking Call of Duty loadout, you're putting a red dot sight on here, and you have to pay a subscription on top of it. That blows my mind. Why is that a subscription? What the fuck? I want to be clear. There are some things that a subscription makes sense for. If there's like a reoccurring purchase of something that you plan on getting long term, as long as there's like an ease of cancellation in there, I don't have like a problem with subscriptions in principle. I have a problem with the way that subscriptions are utilized for absolutely everything now, where it is just beyond exploitative. It is being shoehorned into every single product and service imaginable when there is just no reason for it. Like I said, there are legitimate good use cases of subscriptions. If it's something that you're going to be buying every month, every other month, whatever, that makes sense. I get that. This, I don't get at all. Why the fuck would this be a subscription? You've already bought the piece of technology. There is no reason to continue shaking your piggy bank out here for it. And it costs a pretty penny too. It is not cheap. You are shelling out 599 clams to get your hands on the Dakota clamps here. So basically, what this accessory is a device that clamps over the rim like a toilet bowl cleaner and points an optical sensor at your excretions and secretions. It'll analyze the images to detect any blood and reviews your gut health and hydration status. And there's apparently multiple plans to choose from that can range from $70 to $156 per year. That is, I imagine, on top of the $600 entry fee just to have that piece of technology. Which, if you don't pay the subscription for, you basically just bought a paperweight. You bought a fucking brick that is attached to your toilet bowl if you don't pay the subscription, because it just won't work. It's so silly to me. You don't even own your shitter associate here clamped to your toilet bowl. You have a brief permission slip to access it and use that technology as long as you're paying the subscription fee, as long as you're suckling on their titties. We are fully in the age now of you will own nothing and be happy. That is where we are. You actually basically own nothing at this point, and that is the way every industry is gearing towards. It is pushing everything to just, you have the idea of a product or service. You don't actually have your paws on anything. There's nothing real there. It's all imaginary. You are granted limited access with the fee that you pay for it. but can be taken away at any time for basically any reason at this point. It is truly an age where you actually pay for things but don't own any of it. I cannot believe that something like a toilet bowl accessory is now having a subscription model attached to it. Now, I don't even hate the idea of this item, by the way. It is like an important thing to monitor like your gut health. Like there is a lot that your poop can say about your health, and it is something a lot of people overlook. So something like this could actually be like really helpful to some people. It could even potentially save lives. There's definitely that possibility as well, but it can only do that if you're willing to pay a subscription fee for it. That's unbelievable. That is unfathomable to me. I can find no justifiable explanation for why this would require a subscription fee. You already have it. It is already doing what it was designed to do. There's no need to continue to pay for it to do that. You already have the technology right there. You got the little fucking doodad gizmo right there, and it's doing what it's designed to do. What is the subscription for? It's not like there's some kind of doctor on the other end of it that's getting paid a salary that you're paying for his input on or anything. You have it. It's working, but they can revoke your access if you don't keep paying for it with the subscriptions. I think we are getting dangerously close to the point where even something like flushing your toilet bowl will require a subscription with different plans for it. Like you get 5 poops per week with these flushes, and then if you pay more, you get up to 10 poops per week that it'll flush with this amount of power. And if you want to sign up for the premium plan, you'll even get like a jet booster where it'll really flush the shit out of that poop. Like, I just think subscriptions are going to infiltrate literally everything. They already are. Now let's go ahead and dig into this product a little bit more to learn about it, I suppose, since I'm already yapping on it. Apparently it works by using a fingerprint sensor, so you'll sign in by giving it your fingerprints. This is another thing. Every single product and service wants as much biometric data on you as possible. So now, even having your shit looked at through a fucking camera will require some kind of biometric data to be gathered on you. Oh my god. But don't worry, you can trust Kohler with all of that. It says it secures your data via the fingerprint scanner and end-to-end encryption, and notes that the camera uses discrete optics looking only at the results, not your body parts. Dakota's sensors seed down into your toilet and nowhere else, the company says. That's wonderful news, and we know that there's never been any kind of data breaches and no one's ever lied about how secure things are. So we can take them at their word here, knowing full well that all of that data is super safe and encrypted, and there's not going to be any weird kind of peeping toms using this technology for nefarious, perverted purposes or anything like that. We can sleep easy with that knowledge locked securely in our brains here. This will be hiccup-free. And just think about how cool it'll be to use your toilet and give it your fingerprint scan in order to optimize your bathroom experience. Just imagine for a second, though, just play around with this. Hackers get into your Kohler Dakota and steal your fucking data through your toilet bowl accessory. I mean, everything is getting data breached. Like, every single service has had huge leaks recently. Now imagine once this is on the table and they get the fingerprint scans and whatever else that it happens to accumulate. Also, something kind of fun to play with. Imagine putting this on all of your toilets or something, and you have like company over, and they see that, and they're like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "Oh no, don't put your fingerprint on that, no!" And then all of a sudden, it logs a brand new set of poop. You're just having friends over for their Super Bowl party or something, and then all of a sudden, your phone's blowing up with notifications from your Dakota app. Player 2 has entered the arena. Player 3 is in the lobby now, and it's like all this information on their poop and their gut health and all that shit. Here, hold on, I actually got a little guest star of my own. I don't know if you could hear that, but I just blew a little ass there. Anyway, though, I don't even hate the idea of the product. Like I said, I think that is actually, could be, a very valuable service to provide, given a reasonable price point and no subscription fee. The more I think about it, the more I hate this one in particular. The idea that this product could actually really help some people, like even be life-saving to a certain degree, and then locking that behind a perpetual paywall with this subscription fee, that just feels even more deplorable than most subscription models. That's pretty crazy to me, actually. Like, stay on top of your health, but only if you are financially able to perpetually do that. $156 per year. on top of the $600 you paid to have the device on the toilet in the first place. I hate that. I really do. Anyway, I really hate how everything is getting a forced subscription fee on top of everything. Every single business seems to be gravitating towards it. It sucks.
Everything in the world is becoming a subscription service. Get ready to set aside a monthly allowance for air premium when you start getting charged for every single little bit of oxygen you breathe once they find a way to monetize that. It's just such a frustrating trend. It's worse than Tide Pods, honestly. But what's even worse about the subscription plague is when some services make it very difficult to cancel, making it a ton of hoops that you have to jump through and just a complete nuisance. And there's no industry worse about this than journalism. I don't know what's happened to journalism, but it is fucking atrocious. Not only like the quality of articles, but even just the ability to access articles. I've done this on stream innumerable times by this point, where if you go to an article without an ad block on, you can't see the article because it's just completely inundated with ads out the wazoo, with auto-playing banner ads in paragraph ads that split everything up, and all you see is ads. And if you go on mobile, you're better off just closing your eyes. You'll get the same amount of information. It's terrible. It's absolute trash. It should be illegal. Like, I actually think there should be a limit to how many ads can be on these websites, because you can't even access the content. It's unacceptable. And some websites don't even allow you to see an article without your ad block being turned off, which is why I have it off when I stream, so I can at least access an article. If that's the word. I don't even know if I can use that word for it, because the only thing I'm accessing is a goddamn migraine looking at all these fucking stupid ads that are just, like, laser beaming my eyes. But if you do make the mistake of subscribing to some of these journalism outlets in order to actually read some of their trash, you become their bitch. You become their prisoner for life. You're trapped in there with them. Like, you can't escape. It's an actual Elden Ring DLC boss battle if you try and unsubscribe from some of these outlets. And the worst culprit by far that I can find is The Economist. I saw these screenshots today and learned that this is common practice for The Economist when you try and unsubscribe. There are so many posts on Twitter and Reddit, as well as just like other forums, that document how painful of an experience it is to unsubscribe from The Economist, because they make it as difficult and complicated and long as possible in the hopes that you'll just give up and just keep your subscription. It's so foul. That has to be illegal. It really does. But anyway, here's the live chat here, because in order to unsubscribe from The Economist, you have to talk to somebody there. You can't just automatically do it, which I feel should be a basic necessity if you're offering a subscription service. You should have a way to automatically unsubscribe and cancel it. I don't think you should have to communicate with anyone at the company you're unsubscribing to, but at The Economist, they clearly disagree. So here they say, "Hi Austin," with an exclamation point. Super excited to be having this conversation. Party poppers just went off the second this live chat was initiated. "Sorry to hear that you wish to cancel your subscription. I'll certainly help you with your request. Allow me a minute. While I'm doing that, may I know how your day has been so far?" To which they just say, "Fine, thanks." Short, sweet, to the point. No one really wants to be making small talk through the live chat here when they're on a mission to just unsubscribe, which should be a quick, easy process. They go, "I'm glad to know about your day, Austin." "Yeah," pumping their fist. "I'm glad to know about it. I can see you have a monthly digital subscription with the renewal date of the 5th of July, 2024. May I know if there is any specific reason that you wish to unsubscribe with us, Austin?" To which he replies, "Ads." Pause. That's crazy. So you're paying to subscribe to this journalism outlet, and you're still getting ads. I was under the impression that if you subscribe to one of these outlets, you don't get ads anymore, and you actually get to read what they publish. That is shocking, that you're paying to still get ads on these fucking websites. That's like malware. These journalism outlets are like actually malware you're paying for, I suppose. That blows my mind. "Thank you for the information. I'm sorry the inconvenience this may have caused. If I may know, how do you access the content, through app or website?" I love that you have to take like a fucking exit survey here just to unsubscribe. Lovely. What a great process. Website. "I'm not trying to be rude, but can I please just cancel without all these questions?" Exactly. No one likes to be interrogated about wanting to unsubscribe from this service. It's ridiculous. "Thank you for the information. Apologies for the hassle. I will help you with your request." Thank you for patiently waiting. To explain, The Economist ads are clever, witty, and thought-provoking. They're driving like this hard sell on like, well, actually, these ads are incredible. We have innovative ads that use these things called jokes. Humor is actually one of the most important things of The Economist, because we believe if you're reading The Economist, we gotta put a smile on that face. And we do that through these extremely clever and witty ads. Oh my god, it's so fucking dystopian. They engage readers by making them feel part of an elite club. For instance, iconic ads imply that reading The Economist makes you smarter or more informed. Like most media outlets, The Economist relies on advertising revenue to sustain its operations. Ads help cover production costs, pay journalists, and maintain the quality of content. I have no doubt that customer service is trained to do this. It's not something they really want to be doing. But holy shit, that is such a crazy thing to attempt. Like, oh, you're leaving because of ads? Are you sure? Our ads are witty. Like, ads should be a reason you'd want to stay. Our ads are so good. Like, I can't believe you'd want to leave because of ads. That's kind of a stupid reason. Let me explain to you why you should stay. Because these ads are so fucking good. I also love trying to guilt them a little bit, like, well, ads are a necessary evil. Well, excuse me, not evil, a necessary blessing to our readers because they help sustain the website and pay for all of these costs. Well, what the fuck is the point of the subscription service then? Like, you're double dipping. If you're subscribing to something here, you shouldn't be getting ads on top of it too. At least I don't think so. Or at the very least, non-intrusive ads. If you're still going to put ads to subscribers, it should at the very least rule out the possibility of getting in-video ads, banner ads, in-article ads, fucking audio blasting ads. Like, it should... If you're going to put ads into these subscriptions, I suppose, it should be the least intrusive ones, like at the very bottom of an article, perhaps. Like, it's stupid. This is really stupid. But above all, you should just let people be able to unsubscribe without this kind of hassle. This is absurd. So, it's not just, a live chat that you have to go through, though there is so many screenshots from people having almost identical experiences with the Economist live chat when trying to unsubscribe. There's also been cases where they kind of require you to call if you don't want to wait in a live chat queue. So your options are either call the Economist or go through this song and dance with live chat. Like, that's so inefficient and just a complete waste of time. And it's on purpose, because like I said, the idea is if you make it a long, tedious process, some people will probably just be like, okay, fuck it, I'll just keep subscribing and I'll occasionally read this, I suppose. Like, it's just one of those things like a gym membership. Gym memberships are notorious for this, where if you try and cancel a gym membership, they require you to go in there in person in some places in order to cancel it, and for a lot of people, that makes it a lot more inconvenient, so they end up pushing it and procrastinating, so they end up paying for it longer than they planned on. It's that same practice here from The Economist, but worse, because now you have to directly be interacting with and being guilted by and getting fucking, like, car salesmen on by their representatives at The Economist. It's unacceptable. Now let's take a closer peek here at the process. Cancel your subscription. We're sorry to hear that you would like to cancel your subscription. Best way to get in contact with us is through our live chat service, which is open 24/7 and directs you to that service. Why do you have to get in contact with them? Why not just offer like an automatic cancellation service as opposed to a live chat one? I think that's a little much, but whatever. Alternatively, if you don't want to wait there, you can find some phone numbers with a dedicated service center that will be happy to assist you. So you get to contact someone directly who will be giving you these sales pitches as you're trying to leave the service. And if you look to the right there, you can see the live chat that this user has started. Before I process your account, I would love to tell you about the Espresso app. The Espresso app from The Economist, which is a slimmed-down version of The Economist, offers a condensed experience which you can fully personalize to what you enjoy. It's super popular for people with less time on their hands. You can stay connected to the content while commuting, running, or doing your grocery shopping, and you have access to another free trial. It costs $12.90 for the month, or $129 per year. Sorry, it's a little blurry there. I couldn't read that. So they're trying to unsubscribe from The Economist, and while they're trying to process that request, they're trying to pitch them on another service from The Economist, an app that does the same fucking thing, but in a different way. Who the fuck thinks that's a good idea? Oh, I see you want to leave The Economist. Well, have you thought of downloading The Economist app, our partner companion app? Well, here's why you should do it, and here's the cost for doing it. Would you like me to sign you up? I can do that real quick while I'm processing your unsubscribe request. It's a standalone app which you will have to download from your Play Store or App Store and use separately. I can switch you to the free trial espresso today. This offer will reduce your payment from $29.90. Jesus Christ, it's just ridiculous. I can't even keep reading it. It's so absurd. Anyway, I'm not going to keep ranting about this. You get the point. If you're offering a subscription service, offer an easy, convenient way to cancel it. That's it. That should be a actual law. That if you have that, you must also have a way of getting rid of it easily without it being a complete fucking nuisance. That's really about it. See ya. Yesterday, a beloved YouTube group made an announcement, and it did not go over well. They ended up getting dunked on more than a Fisher-Price basketball hoop. It is the YouTube channel Watcher, as they announced their subscription-based paywalled content strategy going forward. It is really interesting. So, for those that don't know, this is a very popular YouTube group called Watcher. They make very well-produced content. I was unfamiliar with this channel until today with this news, but I was familiar with their work previously, like before they were Watcher. But they've been crushing it, clearly. Almost 3 million subs, every video getting like 1 million views, pretty much. It's all very high-quality content. So then today, they posted this video, Goodbye YouTube. And it's like a really heartfelt video about what YouTube means to them, and it's very dramatic. You know, it's saying things like, if this is my last time on YouTube, what a fucking ride it's been. It's like the end to a 1990s action movie. YouTube, you son of a bitch, we had a good ride. That kind of thing, as they sail off into the sunset. But what they're actually doing is they're moving to their own subscription-based website. So, the strategy is, they're going to be releasing a couple of episodes still on YouTube, but the rest of that season will be exclusively behind paywalled content at watchertv.com. The video is getting absolutely bombarded with dislikes, and a lot of people have soured their impression of this group, regardless of what they decide to do going forward, even if they do backtrack this decision. It's a maneuver that just did not land. They went for a kickflip and ended up breaking both their ankles on this bad boy here, and it's pretty simple to understand why. It's the whole concept of the content you were getting for free is now no longer going to be free. That just always leaves the taste of shit in people's mouths. It's the worst flavor. No one likes a poop pop. So, understandably, a lot of people were voicing their concerns and their disappointment with this. Honestly, Watcher probably would have found more success if they made an announcement stating that one of the members had hit a deer on their way into work, and they had no remorse or something. Like, this hasn't been really a home run for them here. They said they made the service $5.99 because everyone and anyone can afford it. When did they see that? Well, I must have missed that statement. Was it in this video somewhere and I just am forgetting it? Because that is a crazy thing to say.
First. Steven, talk about money. Yeah, what's this price?
You can become a member of Watcher for $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year.
We want to keep the price low enough where anybody and everybody is able to afford it, but it also has to support the things that we do here. So that was the number that just made the most sense for the streamer.
That's very out of touch. I don't know how I missed that. I don't know how that flew under my radar. That is extraordinarily out of touch. That face right there says it all. Yep, that one just got ripped. Fuck it, we'll do it live, I guess. That's going in the final cut. Are we sure? Eek. Let me lay down the reality here. $6 isn't nothing. Especially not in the current climate of things where everyone and their grandmother is making a subscription service for every single fucking thing on the planet. We're in the gold rush right now where every company is turning their content into a subscription-based monthly payment to access it. And I mean everything. If you want like a bag of beans delivered to you, you probably have to subscribe to the bag of bean delivery stork service for $5.99 a month. So this is yet another subscription charge they're trying to peddle here for previously free YouTube videos. That's just not worth it for the majority of people and just adds another headache, an unnecessary subscription charge that I can't imagine many people being enthusiastic about paying for. Now, to be clear, they're not like removing their YouTube content that's already up. It's just going forward. They're only going to be releasing like the premiere of a season on their channel, and then the rest of that season is paywalled. Now, personally, I think it is a horrible idea. Going through their channel, their videos are long-form content for the most part, like 30 minutes plus, and I imagine with their history working at BuzzFeed for BuzzFeed Unsolved, they've learned how to optimize mid-roll ads, so they're probably pulling in a very high RPM on those videos. I have to imagine that is already covering the cost of production, but on top of that, and I didn't know this until stream last night, they also have a very successful Patreon with over 12,000 members and 3 different monthly payment tiers. And just for the cherry on top of this money cake, Mr. Krabs style, they have a ton of merch, obviously, but the biggest thing is they do a ton of brand deals. From what I can see, they run a lot of ads in their content. And many of you might not remember this, I actually own a company that specializes in putting brands with YouTubers and running ads for major YouTube channels. It's called Mana Talent Group. And I started that back in 2018, so I know what these deals look like. So I'm going to break the magician's code here and give you a little spitball estimate on what I think they're making per ad. With a channel of their size and their views and this style of content, I would wager a guess that each brand that appears in their content is paying between $15,000 and $35,000 a piece to be there. Now, I know that's kind of a wide ballpark. It's just hard for me to guesstimate from the sidelines what their deals might look like, because longer-term partnerships usually have discounts per slot because they've done a long-term deal, whereas like one-offs or short-term partners are paying more for like the couple of ads they're there for. But I'm confident that none of their brand partners are paying less than $15,000 to be on their content, and I'm pretty confident that it's probably going up to about $35K for their more one-offs or short-term deals. So they're already making tons of money through their content. You were right. They just don't really advertise it? So they already have this, and now they have Watcher TV, which is another subscription service, which I imagine is going to run congruent. Or if you pay $5 here, do you also get Watcher TV access? I don't know. Is it somewhere in the perks? That is a lot of doubloons they are pulling in right now. They got 12,000 members on that Patreon, and some of those tiers, that's a lot of bones. You're not really in a financially struggling situation with this channel. I'm just going to lay down the brass tacks here. I saw a few people defending them, saying like, no, they have 25 employees, they need to get their bread because it's very expensive. I'm going to peel back the curtain here real quick. I have more than 25 employees, considering I also have an esports organization, which has a lot of players on it. And I'm going to tell you, since they're professional gamers, their salary is going to be significantly higher than their employees' cost. And I'm able to finance all of that completely fine through streaming. And my streaming numbers are nowhere near as lucrative as their Patreon numbers. It's not even close. Theirs blows me out of the water. And I'm not exactly struggling with all of those employees for our esports org. To really drive this point home, one of our star players was $10,000 a month. One. And we have well north of 25 in total. And I was still able to do all of that through a fraction of their numbers here with what they're making on Patreon. And I have like a fourth of their RPM. My RPM on YouTube is about 3, and I'm confident that the Watcher channel is probably seeing north of 8 to 9 RPM on their videos. And still, I wasn't exactly struggling to cover all of these employees' costs. So I don't think that this subscription paywall service is necessary for them to stay afloat, especially not since they have this Patreon and they have such a successful YouTube channel already. Now, this isn't exclusive to just Watcher. There's been a lot of channels that have done similar things, and some of them have seen different degrees of success. I was researching it at the end of stream last night. However, all of the examples I can find of YouTube groups making their own third-party platforms where you can subscribe for exclusive content, that's a little different because they're not taking what was already free from that channel and putting it behind a paywall. They're adding like behind-the-scenes stuff, brand new shows, things like that, exclusive to that subscription tier on that third-party website. And for a couple of them, I saw that their third-party website was free with ads. and you had the option of subscribing for a monthly fee, whereas Watcher TV is only the $6 a month subscription fee, or the $60 a year. And it's weird because Watcher is already doing what those other channels do on their third-party platform on their Patreon. They're already offering like the exclusive stuff there for the monthly charges, and now they're adding another separate monthly charge for the content that people were used to getting for free on YouTube. So it's really just such a fucking mess. Now, of course, there's no telling if this is going to be a successful venture for them. It certainly doesn't look like it based on the reception here and all the tomatoes that are getting tossed at them. But with an audience of their size, they don't need a large portion of them to sign up at $5.99 a month to make it viable. They don't need a large number of conversion here, and I think they know that. But I really think that they're going to be surprised with how little will likely sign up here, because it is expensive. That's not nothing. They framed it like $6 a month is affordable to everyone. What? We all have $6 lying around. You guys don't have phones? Oh, you got $6. Like, they make it sound like it's basically nothing, when it's not. That's a lot, especially on top of every other subscription that people have in their daily lives. But I just really think it's a pretty dumb idea. This is going to completely kill their growth as a brand. It's going to be a very hard sell to people that don't know the Watcher why they should be willing to pay $5.99 a month to watch YouTube videos. Like, that's just not an easy thing to sell to people. It only come from a very loyal fan base that's already hooked on their content in this audience they built on YouTube, which they're now abandoning. So they're not really going to be bringing in new people, I don't think. Even with dropping like the premiere video on their channel, I think that's just going to frustrate people more. Like, oh, I really want to watch the rest of this. Oh, but I have to pay $6.99 for it, and I only get this? Like, that's not worth. It just, to me, doesn't seem like it's going to be a good long-term plan. But I could be totally wrong. Who knows? Maybe people are, like, elated and can't wait to pay for more streaming services. I think that blows ass. I'm so tired of streaming services popping up all over the place like a fucking plague. It's like Hydra, cut off one head and 2 more streaming services take its place. And now we're seeing it for YouTubers? Like, that's not exciting. Point blank, I just do not like it. I do not like Green Eggs and Ham. I do not like it, Sam I Am. Watcher TV, what a sham. I understand why some other YouTube channels have third-party places where they can pay for more content, but they're paying for more content on top of what they're already getting on YouTube. So, like, I know Ross Creations has one, which apparently people really like the way he does it. I know Sidemen have Sidemen Plus, and it seems like people like that as well. And from what I can tell, that's just giving you, like, the very loyal, like, ferocious fans more of what you already like. So you're getting, like, behind-the-scenes stuff, you're getting exclusive content that is totally separate from the content that they're already getting on the primary platform. Whereas with Watcher, that's not the case. You're losing what you're used to, and that's it. You now have to access it through $6 a month to get that same content. It just doesn't feel good. Especially because they already have a Patreon. Like, they were already doing the standard, which people don't mind, and I don't think there's anything wrong with, where, you know, your audience pays the Patreon monthly fee or whatever, and they just get more content from you guys. The behind the scenes, the podcast, the special edition stuff, the sneak peeks, whatever. Like, that makes sense. Like, that's value there, and they keep getting the content that they're used to, that you've been providing to them for free, that made them a fan in the first place on YouTube. I don't know, it just feels like a real slap in the face, and I totally understand why people are upset about it. I don't like it either. And I hope this isn't the direction a lot of YouTubers decide to go down in the future. I don't really know why they thought this would go over well. To me, it really seems like some kind of corpo suit came in there, like a devil on their shoulder, whispering in their ear that this is the way of the future. This is the way to do things, making subscription-based third-party services outside of YouTube. Grow your presence on YouTube, and then abandon it. Try and take all of them to your third-party site where you can really milk them dry for more money. It sucks. Like, that's just not healthy at all. There's nothing good about that direction. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit. That's really it. So yeah. It's impossible to say what the worst feeling in the world might be. I think most people would default to answering that with something painful, like getting hit with a sledgehammer, getting shot. Childbirth is usually towards the top of that tier list for how painful it is. Maybe watching Rebel Moon Part 2 for how abominable it is. But I actually think there's a right answer to what the worst feeling in the world is, and it's being dead. And a YouTube channel called Watcher would agree with my analysis because they experienced death for about 3 days when they released their Goodbye YouTube video, where they announced that they were leaving the platform in order to have their own subscription-based third-party platform for their content going forward, and people didn't like that. They got spit on more than a mic at a beatboxing competition, and now they're backpedaling. They've released an apology, and they've announced that they've made a mistake, they've apologized, and they've talked about their plan going forward now. I'll bring you up to speed on the lore in case you're unfamiliar with this story, but this is a massive YouTube channel. They are a beloved group where they made this absolute wet fart of announcement where it was saying that they were going to be producing all of their content going forward behind a paywall on their own platform for $6 a month. So all of the content that their fans were used to getting on YouTube for free is now locked behind a $6 a month subscription fee. They said they continue to drop premieres on YouTube, but the rest of the season, well, that would cost you some clams to access. Obviously, this ruffled everyone's feathers, especially considering they already have a Patreon where people were signing up for monthly membership fees of $5, $10, or $25 a month, and this was an additional service on top of that for a monthly subscription, so it was just a disaster. And they lost close to like 100,000 subs over the course of 3 days. It wasn't quite 100K, but it was a lot. And now, today, they've released this.
Hey everyone, last Friday we announced that we're leaving YouTube and launching our new streaming platform.
We messed up. A lot of you spoke out with extremely valid comments and concerns, and we want to take the time now to address those.
We've been reading the things you've been saying, and we're sorry for the way we handled this, as well as the way we communicated it.
Right up front, it succeeds where a lot of other YouTuber apologies fail. They say they fucked up, and they say the golden word, I'm sorry. They make an apology right off rip. So it's a pretty good start to this one, all things considered.
We understand where you're coming from, and we're making immediate changes.
First, we want to affirm that you are the reason why we've been able to do anything at this company. You helped us every step of the way when we left BuzzFeed to start Watcher at the top of the pandemic in 2020.
You've supported us in so many ways by watching our content, attending our live shows, buying our merch, becoming members of our Patreon, and giving words of encouragement over the years.
This is another super strong moment here because it's tugging on the audience's heartstrings. It's very much buttering them up in a positive way. I'm not saying that as a negative thing. It's clear that they recognize the significance of having that audience. The whole content creation shit online doesn't work if no one's watching it. I mean, I guess if you had like an army of bots that view it, like you're a kick streamer or something, then maybe you can make an argument that it'd be sustainable even if you don't have a single human being watching. But clearly they understand that you need a passionate audience in order to survive in the online cyberspace Thunderdome. Now, there is something I want to mention here, though. He briefly mentioned some of the ways the audience has supported them over the years, such as buying the merch, attending the live shows, subscribing to the Patreon for the monthly fee, and encouraging words. 3 out of 4 of those are huge revenue drivers. The kind words, not so much. You can't really make a whole lot of money. You can't convert nice comments to USD. There's no direct conversion there for that. I mean, unless you're making Hallmark cards, perhaps. But those other 3, attending live shows, subscribing to the Patreon, and also buying the merch. And there is a 4th one there as well, which is just by watching the videos, you are directly financially supporting them because AdSense through YouTube monetization, as well as the brand partners that have paid to be on their content. So they're already heavily monetized content, and I didn't even think about the live shows the first time I watched their video. That's a huge part of some teams' bottom lines because they bring in so much money. It's like one of the main revenue drivers for bands in particular with concerts and buying tickets to it. So they have a lot of revenue sources already for their brand. So then immediately after hearing that in this video, I was like, so then why did you want to do Watcher TV for $6 a month? You have all of these other streams that the audience has been supporting for so long. Why would you want to have another one to milk those titties dry? Like, it just doesn't seem right. It seems greedy. Now, they do shine some light on the motive behind doing this, the reason behind the Watcher TV idea in the first place. So we'll get to that pretty soon.
And we are incredibly grateful for your support.
We're sorry for how we originally delivered our goodbye message to YouTube. It was insensitive. We didn't properly express how much we appreciate all of you. And we did a really bad job of explaining the reasoning behind this transition.
We also want to deeply apologize for our ignorance around the impact of the cost. We regret stating and implying that it's a price that anybody can afford, and we fully acknowledge that it is not. We didn't take the proper consideration for how this cost would affect you, and hope you know that we are taking this as a serious learning experience.
It seems like they really did listen to pretty much all the feedback. They're hitting all of the main points, both in their delivery as well as the actual idea behind this venture. So it's nice that they're up here taking the accountability and saying, yeah, these are things that we really just didn't even think about. I'm sorry, we fucked it up. Like that is something that you don't see very often, so it's nice to see them just take it on the chin here.
With that in mind, we're making some changes to ensure that there's a way for our community to continue watching our content for free.
If you want to watch our shows early and ad-free, you can catch them on the Watcher platform a month earlier. After that, you'll be able to watch our shows on YouTube for free. For those that have already subscribed to the platform, we are so grateful for your support. But if this change has you rethinking your membership, we will issue a full refund. And all past episodes and series will remain available on YouTube.
That's a pretty solid change overall. That is something you see for a lot of Patreons for YouTubers or third-party offerings if it's not Patreon. So it does make sense that they do this here. I am surprised that that's not something they were already offering on Patreon with early access. That's one of the more standard ones. But I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If there's people that are just hungry, starved for more Watcher content, they can subscribe for $6 a month on that platform and they get that content fed to them a month early. And those that don't want to or can't afford to can just wait for it to premiere on YouTube for free, as it has always done in the past for the content that they've come to know and love. That gets 2 thumbs way up from me for the back of the DVD box on that change. I think that's completely fine. Everyone wins there. If you really want the content early, you subscribe to the early access membership for Watcher TV. And if you just want to get the content that you already know you like, you just wait for it to come up on YouTube, and it's no different for you. So I think that is a totally fair compromise.
As for the question of why we decided to launch our own platform, when we started Watcher in 2020, we wanted to create shows that we were proud of, that we had ownership over, and that would provide you the caliber of content that we felt you deserved. However, we were finding it harder and harder to stay relevant to advertisers and the constantly changing YouTube landscape.
This is where my eyebrow raised a bit, so I decided to look into their content just briefly. I didn't do like a full deep dive here, but of their last 20 videos, 12 of them have brands on them. I'm excluding their Goodbye YouTube video, but also there's one more in that batch of 20 that I think doesn't really count, and it's a teaser trailer for the mystery files that they did, so it was just a very short trailer. But 12 out of 19 full videos have sponsors in them. As I mentioned in the last video, I own an agency that manages a lot of major YouTube channels of this size and bigger. So I know what a lot of those deals look like, and I know that those deals are super lucrative. And at their size, those are significant numbers that we're looking at. Over half of their videos of the last 20 are brand partnered. It doesn't seem like they were really struggling to get brands on their content, so I don't exactly know what he means by staying relevant to brands, especially because in this industry, brands focus mainly on your cold, hard Carfax, your metrics, your numbers, and they pull in great viewership numbers as well as a very engaged community. So brands must have hearts in their eyes anytime they get the chance to work with Watcher, just because their numbers are so good. But on top of that, they actually produce some of the most brand-friendly content imaginable. This is the type of shit brands salivate over. It's long-form, highly produced content, and the creators actually do skits for the ads. At least in all the ones I've seen. They do like a fully produced brand piece in this content. So the audience actually enjoys watching these ads. That is a match made in heaven for sponsors. So I was very confused on what he meant by staying relevant to brands. And then the second thing about, staying relevant in like the ever-changing YouTube ecosystem, that's a totally understandable one. I get that. The YouTube ecosystem is 100% like this boogeyman that no one fully understands. But it doesn't really make sense to me. We found it harder and harder to compete in the ever-changing YouTube landscape, so we abandoned it. We waved the white flag and said we're defeated, so we created our own platform with blackjack and hookers. That's a Futurama reference. I'm not saying that's what Watcher TV is. But the point is, why would you go from this is a lot going on YouTube and it's changing to, all right, guess we got to leave it now and then charge people for access? That just doesn't really compute to me, because you kill your brand, obviously, which I think they've recognized now from all the feedback. It's very hard to get people to subscribe to $6 a month content on a third-party platform they don't know, as opposed to just showing them some free YouTube videos. You built your brand very successfully on YouTube, and you are still only growing from everything I can tell. So why would you abandon it at the height of your growth, right? Like that, I don't know, that reason doesn't really make a ton of sense to me, but I understand being like afraid about, you know, long-term sustainability with how frequently YouTube is changing. I do get that, but I feel like the natural progression there would be like, okay, so how can we stay competitive on YouTube, as opposed to, okay, how the fuck can we get out of here?
We faced some incredibly challenging decisions. We didn't want to compromise our content to ensure they met advertising requirements. And we definitely did not want to lay people off that have brought Watcher to life behind the scenes. And we didn't want to bring Watcher to a close, which would have happened if we stayed solely on YouTube.
That's why we decided to launch the platform, so that we as a company could continue, we could pay our staff fairly, and not only continue to make great content for you, but expand with new shows, new voices, all ad-free. And now with the addition of accessible options, this is a decision that we all believe is the best for Watcher.
All those reasons he lists are perfectly reasonable. You don't want to lay off your staff, great. You want to pay them fair, great. Like all of these, they check mark the boxes of good shit. I support that. But I don't understand why your only option was to leave YouTube and charge $6 a month to your audience that's already paying for more merch, live shows, and Patreon. At least a large number of them are. They have over 13.4 thousand Patreon members right now. From all of this controversy, their Patreon has actually flourished more than it ever has, from what I can see. So why would you want to take even more money out of their piggy banks here? The strategy would be to keep growing on YouTube so you can continue to monetize, you can charge higher rates to the brands that you work with, that I imagine you will continue to work with. And also, more views means more AdSense money. And like I said, this channel is so advertiser friendly. It's exactly what brands and YouTube themselves want, long form, high quality content. Their RPM is probably super fucking high. So the more they would grow on YouTube, the more money they would stand to make. They would easily be able to expand, I would think, without charging $6 a month for their initial idea of paywalling the content that they were used to giving for free. I do like their new model of pay $6 a month for early access, but I still do find it unnecessary. I feel like the only reason that's there is because they can't fully walk back that now. They can't just get rid of that because people have already paid for it, so they need to offer something to those people that have already signed up. But I don't think it's a necessary thing for the survival of their brand. I really don't. Like I said, I know what these brands pay to be on the content. So just their sponsorships, I know they're bringing in six figures from these sponsorships. Easy. And their Patreon, you can start crunching the numbers. 13.4 thousand Patreons at $5 minimum, up to $25. Like, come on. That's a lot per month. Plus their merch. Their merch is pretty pricey, and people are clearly buying their merch. It seems to sell out quite a bit. That's a lot too. Live show tickets, when those come around, that's a pretty big influx. Their AdSense popping off. Like, they have so many revenue streams. I don't know how they can possibly be at this point where they need to find more ways of taking money from their audience in order to survive. That just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me unless there's some really odd mismanagement going on behind the scenes here. The videos they make aren't cheap, but I am confident that they're not costing them $500,000 per video or something outlandish like that. I know that's not the case. So how can you possibly be at this point where we had to find a new subscription for people to pay for in order to keep Watcher alive? I just don't get that.
However, we realized that in figuring out the logistics of what this might take, we overlooked the way it would impact all of you. We hope you'll be patient with us through these mistakes, and we remain incredibly sorry that they were made in the first place.
We also want to directly address our Patreon community, who have played such a key role in supporting us from the very beginning. All current Patreon members will receive a free subscription code to the platform. If you already purchased a subscription, please contact us and we will issue you a full refund.
We look forward to continuing to make shows and introducing all the incredible things that we've got planned for the platform alongside YouTube. And in the meantime, we are forever grateful to all of the people who make up our community, and we hope that you consider joining us in this next chapter of our journey, whether that's on YouTube or on the platform.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Overall, this is a good apology video, I feel. They say I'm sorry multiple times, they admit their faults, they try and explain why things were the way that they are, and how they missed the mark. Like, they take a lot of it and seem to understand it from a place of genuine authenticity, which is great. I still, however, don't understand why it reached that point to begin with. I don't see how a channel of their size and their success with all of the revenue streams that they currently offer could possibly be struggling financially. I really don't understand. I don't. Like, knowing what I know about this space, I just don't see how they could be needing to take even more money from their audience to survive. I do think they made a good change with what they're offering for $6 a month. I personally don't think that it's necessary at all, though. Especially because the way they frame it in this video makes it sound like that's the only way the watcher survives, is if they find a way to monetize even more off the backs of their viewers. So that's why the $6 a month there is being charged, because it helps keep them afloat. I don't know how they could possibly, with all of these revenue streams, be struggling to the degree that they make it seem like they are. But whatever, that's neither here nor there, I suppose. This announcement was very positively received by their audience, and that's the most important thing for the health of their channel and their brand, is that their audience feels satisfied with this update. And from what I can tell, they do. A lot of them do still state that there's been a breach of their trust here with what they tried, but it seems like they're forgiving and willing to see how things play out for this group in the future. So I guess we'll see what the watcher does down the line. That's really about it. So yeah. Character growth. It's an extremely important tool when it comes to storytelling, and it's also an extremely important part of getting older. As you age, you're going to go through a metamorphosis, both physically and likely mentally as well. So, today I'm going to talk about my recent character growth. You see, my friends, I have grown, not in height, but in wisdom and experience, and I look back at the Charlie of old with disappointment that I could ever be so naive and short-sighted. 5-6 years ago, maybe, I was a very outspoken advocate of digital downloads. I used to preach the gospel that physical media is a fossil, it's archaic, and we need to wash our hands of it and get into the digital age. Ones and zeros are the future. Tangibility is cringe. How wrong I was. Those words are like venom leaving my lips now. In recent years, I sing a much different tune. I now believe physical media is more important than ever, because we have seen time and time again the evils of not actually owning what you pay for. The reason I'm talking about this is because Ubisoft just went full mask off, saying gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games. Fundamentally, that's kind of the point they were boiling down. Basically, he was saying that for subscriptions to truly take off, gamers need to be more comfortable not really owning their products. So I don't have a crystal ball, but when you look at the different subscription services that are out there, we've had a rapid expansion over the last couple of years, but it's still relatively small compared to the other models. One of the things we saw is that gamers are used to, a little bit like DVD, having and owning their games. That's the consumer shift that needs to happen. They got comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD collection. That's a transformation that's been a bit slower to happen in games. As gamers grow comfortable in that aspect, you don't lose your progress. If you resume your game at another time, your progress file is still there. That's not been deleted. You don't lose what you've built in the game or your engagement with the game. It's just about feeling comfortable with not owning your game. Obviously, this statement didn't land super well, just a full-blown faceplant, especially because it's coming from Ubisoft, which is a company that has a worse reputation than asbestos. Nobody really likes Ubisoft in the gaming community, so hearing them say this kind of shit definitely made it taste even worse. But it's also nothing new. It seems everything wants to trend towards subscription-based services, and it's also not even new in gaming to not actually own your games. Biggest example is Steam. When you buy a game on Steam, you don't own it. In fact, in your agreement with Steam, you even agree that if you break the rules with Valve and they shut down your account, you don't get your games back. You don't get refunded and you don't get the games anymore. It dies with the account. So it's not unusual in the space to not actually own your products, but Steam is just a really good service with it that most people have trust in. You know what people have no trust in?
fucking Ubisoft. But going beyond that for just a moment, I truly think it is vital to actually own what you pay for, like a physical copy of it. The biggest example I keep giving is SpongeBob SquarePants. If you wanted to watch SpongeBob SquarePants start to finish right now, you could, it's through streaming services, but you're missing the best episode, the Panty Raid, because it got censored and pulled from streaming services along with another episode as well. So if you wanted the complete SpongeBob experience, you can't get it through the official channels. Your only options are to either have the physical media on the DVD box sets for the seasons, or you pirate it. That's it. I'm going off a little tangent here. I'm taking a dusty little path down a dirt road, but this is something I've talked about a lot recently on stream. When Donkey released his video on all the streaming platforms that are popping up, which is becoming a huge headache because there are more streaming platforms popping up than there are stars in the night sky, you can't really get a convenient experience anymore because everything is so divided. The best example Donkey provided was for trying to watch the entire Pokemon series. You have to go to like 15 different streaming platforms back and forth. So like seasons 1 through 5 on one, season 6 on another, then back to that first one for season 7. Then you have to go to like a completely separate one for season 8 and 9, and then to a fifth one for season 10. Like it's just all over the place, broken up like fucking Dragon Balls across the internet. It's becoming extremely expensive, extremely hard to keep track of what you can watch where. You have to be like Charles Xavier and Cerebro with all these different streaming services pop up just to connect the dots on watching a complete series or a complete series of movies, because they're all over the place with different deals, leading to them being scattered like Horcruxes. It's a fucking nuisance. And it's significantly more expensive than if you had just bought the physical media. You could save so many doubloons if you just purchased the complete series of it physically and own it, actually own it. And in that situation, you don't lose access to it unless you misplace it or throw it in the trash or a burglar breaks in and steals it. They have to pry it from your cold dead hands to get your fucking complete Pokemon DVD set. But through streaming services, you are inevitably going to lose it because things come and go from streaming platforms every fucking day. So eventually, what you paid access for to get is going somewhere else, and you're probably going to have to buy a subscription to another service to continue to have access to it. It super sucks. And if anyone's got their thinking caps on here, all roads lead to piracy here. I'm not advocating for piracy, mind you. I'm just saying it's a natural byproduct by offering such a dog shit service. It was actually Gabe Newell of Valve who famously said, piracy is a service problem, meaning that if you're providing a bad service, it's going to lead to people pirating your shit because it's significantly easier than going through the proper channels. And that's the point we've reached. If you're trying to legally purchase things or go through the official means of getting what you want, it's a headache and it's hard. If you just pirate it, not only is it easier, but you also get the complete package and it's not going anywhere if they decide to take it to a different streaming platform, or in the case of gaming, if they decide to like take the game down or shut it off or something like that. You own it. That's another huge benefit. And you get the complete experience like with SpongeBob, where you get the episodes that are currently censored. So all of this is just increasing piracy prevalence. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, Ubisoft, and all of the other suits that for some reason aren't seeing what every other sane person in the world is. It's just baffling, because it doesn't take a genius to see this. Everyone sees how frustrating it is. And for Ubisoft to say like, hey, you know what? It's time you get more comfortable not owning your games. It's really out of touch. Especially, again, from Ubisoft. Keep in mind, they offer Uplay, which is probably the biggest joke the gaming community has ever been subjected to. And the only ones laughing at that comedy is Ubisoft, how they got away with releasing something so trash. It's baffling how bad Uplay is, but that's a whole different can of worms. Point is, right now I think it is more important than ever to actually own what you pay for. I've just had a complete perspective shift on this topic over the last couple of years because we keep seeing how detrimental it is when you don't actually own the product here, in gaming in particular. So yeah, I think Ubisoft is not wrong about this being kind of the future for gaming, where it's probably going to end up with everything offering some kind of subscription-based service, but it's not exactly a future to start pumping your fist over. I really do think owning the product is extremely important now, because we see how easily it can be snatched away for any multitude of reasons. So yeah,
Just wanted to talk about this a little bit because it kind of got thrust back into the limelight here with Ubisoft making these statements, and it's something I've been talking about on stream for a little while now. That's about it. So yeah, you heard about the new Tinder Select membership. Is that the $1,000 Tinder membership? Or $500 per month membership. Yeah, we talked about this a while ago when it was still an idea. Are they actually doing it?
Month.
Why?
The company says
What does it do again?
apply to be part of this group, and it's only going to allow about 1% of its users to gain access. The membership comes with a variety of features, like the ability to direct message people without matching with them first.
Who would ever want that? Brother, if you're not getting matched, the last thing they're going to want is a message from you begging. Paying $500 a month to cold call like a telemarketer to the women you see on Twitter is the most shameful thing imaginable. Oh my god. I remember when this was an idea a while ago. I can't believe they actually did it. That is baffling. Oh, wow. Yucky. Yeah, those poor souls. It's just Instagram. At that point, yeah, kinda. But it's an even more pathetic Instagram because the women that you're reaching out to are going to know you're paying $500 a month because they swiped left on you but still got a message. So they would connect dots. They'd have neuron activation, piece together that you are a lonely, desperate loser who just spent $500 a month in order to send that desperate message. So you're fucked.
You're also promised to be seen by more users. Tinder Select is an alternative to the regular subscription that starts at $24.99 a month.
The regular subscription at $24.99? What's that do? Wait, what? I don't remember that. Also, being seen by more people doesn't help you if you're still not getting matches. Oh, I remember this. Inspiration for this members-only club with Tinder comes from Match's July 2022 acquisition of another high-end dating app, The League, which costs users up to $1,000 per week. Fuck me, I forgot about that. Hold on, I need to pull that up again. Launched in 2015. She conceived the app after growing frustrated with her own online dating experience. Okay. So they connect LinkedIn and Facebook, select preferences, and each user is assigned a rep who can answer app-related questions. They swipe right to indicate interest in a potential match or left to pass, and the league shows users only 5 potential matches per day. In 2016, they released a second version with members now able to organize events and create groups. They also added a feature for women interested in freezing their eggs. What the fuck? Each member receives 1 ticket to bring a friend, allowing that friend to bypass the application process. Without a ticket, a potential user can sign up for the waiting list. The league scans an applicant's Facebook and LinkedIn profiles to analyze alma maters, degrees, professions, industries, social influence, neighborhood, and age. Diversity of applicants is also considered. Currently, there are 420,000 profiles waiting to be selected for inclusion. Paying to become a member allows the user to jump the line. In May 2016, the app began allowing people older than 40 to sign up, and as of August 2016, the median age is 28. 95% straight, 99 have a college degree, and as of 2017, the league claimed it was accepting approximately 10 to 20% of users who sign up. Third-party data estimates the league has a few 100,000 users, and users pay nearly $1,000 per week for its top features. What the fuck are the features? It's just an exclusive dating app, which is going to do nothing for you if you're already striking out on like the basics. This isn't going to do anything except make you more poor. It's fair enough, there's nothing wrong with using dating apps, but I really think real-world socialization is going to be the most effective thing, not only for your own mental health, but in finding a partner with common interests. Because I imagine the places you would go are places that you're interested in, thus the people you meet there have some similar interest off rip. I feel like the more isolated people become into these pockets where even dating and even having these personal connections with people is only through a computer or through a phone is just going to leave you even more socially confused. But there's nothing wrong with using them. But I highly recommend going to places. So upgrade your dating life. Members double your matches and support our mission to foster equal relationships across the globe. So you get to skip the wait list. You get 5 daily prospects or 150 potential matches each month. You see if a match has read your message.
and you can see your past likes. And that is at minimum $100 per week. And then there's this. You get 1 extra prospect per day, a free power move. What does that mean? Like it's going to spit game for you? It summons the holy wizard to go in there and try and woo the women for you? What is a free power move? You get a free rematch and a free undo for $200 per week. It's pay to win dating. Holy shit. But I mean, pay to lose, really. This one is you get another extra daily prospects, so 7. You can see everyone who likes you. You can be paired first at League Live, which I guess is a speed dating service that happens every Sunday, like a fucking game show. And this one's $400 per week. And then here's the VIP, where it says get matches guaranteed. So VIPs get 8 daily matches. Wait, so these aren't even prospects anymore? Are they just lying to you? They can't force women to match with you. How does that work? They went from prospects to slam dunks? Instant match your batch. So skip the waiting to be... They must have just bot accounts on there for their VIPs in order to fulfill this. Like just completely fake accounts. Hot girls near you. Pretty much, yeah. You can match anyone from your past, and you can be paired with all-stars at League Live, which is eligible for 8 speed dates on each Sunday for $1,000 per week. This is so sad. This is so fucking sad. Oh my god. I don't think we looked this up last time. I've heard of the league before because when Tinder was kicking this around, they name dropped it, but I don't think we ever looked this up. I feel like I would have remembered all this. This sounds like EA's dating site. It actually does. Like, it really does. Oh, it actually goes deeper. Beyond the exclusivity, the feature set is fairly paltry. Select members can direct message another member without matching, but only up to 2 times per week, and they can't send a super like at the same time. Plus, some recipients can opt out of receiving DMs. So you could just... Everyone's going to opt out of that. No one's going to want to be getting fucking messages from goobers that they've already swiped left on. You are actually just going to be sending messages into the void. You're better off just writing your pickup lines on a note, rolling it up and putting it in a bottle and sending it out at sea and hoping a woman likes it. This is such a dumb feature to pay $500 per month on. In addition, select members' profiles will be shown unblurred in the Like You grid in the app for up to 7 days. That is rough. Seems more like an escort service. No, at least there you're guaranteed an interaction. Here you're paying $500 a month for a pipe dream of an interaction that will likely never happen. What's up, everybody? It's Critical, and I just want to say thank you, YouTube, for finally addressing the questions we're asking you. They released this video a couple days ago talking about the subscription feed and the unsubscribing bug that's going around, and they put it on the YouTube help channel, so about 9 people saw it, which is good. It reached a nice wide audience with overwhelming support too. People are just thrilled that they're actually talking to us now. They're being nice and transparent. Now, before I start the video, I just want to bring everyone up to speed in case they're not experiencing the problems with YouTube right now. So what's happening is YouTube isn't putting new videos from people you're subscribed to into your subscriber feed, and it's also unsubscribing people from channels they've subscribed to without them knowing. And this is YouTube just shedding some light on that topic.
This is a bit of an experiment.
Yeah, and the experiment is how many jump cuts can one video possibly have. So you've just experienced the first one. I'm going to put a jump cut counter in the top because this video is fucking riddled with them.
I know you have a lot of questions about the sub speed on YouTube, and we've decided to go straight to the source. Zinzi is the product manager on YouTube subscriptions. So let me ask you, what's a product manager and what's your role here at YouTube?
So as a product manager, I work on developing new features for YouTube. I work with a team of engineers and designers, and our whole job is to develop features for subs.
Awesome. Well, that's exactly what I want to ask you about.
I'm nearly 100% sure these are both just shitty B-list actors who decided to take this role because Google offered them $15. This whole thing just seems like a middle school skit that a bunch of unenthusiastic middle schoolers were forced to participate in for the sake of their parents feeling proud of them. It's not organic, it's rehearsed, the lines are poorly memorized, she reads off of a note card sometimes when she looks at the camera. It just gives me the vibe of a casting couch from a porno, just poor acting and lackluster storyline. And also, that is not a fucking department at YouTube, a whole department dedicated to subscriber features. You got me fucked up. What features have they added in the 10 years YouTube has been around? It's been fundamentally the same thing, except it's been getting progressively worse and more convoluted and counterintuitive. If I'm wrong and there really is that department at YouTube HQ, it's gotta be the worst fucking department under Google's name. Oh, what's the subscriber feature team cooking up this time? Oh, they got a brilliant plan. They're gonna give out a toothbrush every time someone subscribes to someone else.
And the first question is about, we've been hearing reports from viewers that they've been unsubscribed from channels that they've been previously subscribed to. What's up with that?
We've heard these reports and we take those feedback so seriously. YouTube doesn't unsubscribe people from channels. Subscribing is a core part of the YouTube experience, and that's really the mission of our whole team, is to make that experience better. We've
Mission failed.
actually looked at over 100 individual cases, and so far, we haven't been able to find any underlying glitch.
Whoa, holy fuck, over 100 cases? That must have taken you a bajillion years. On a website with millions of accounts, each subscribed to different channels, those 100 cases certainly make up a large portion of it. Since nothing was awry with those 100 cases, that must mean there's nothing wrong with the system and it's all in our head. Oh, the Mandela effect again, Berenstein versus Berenstain, oh fuck, it's happening again. We're sorry, YouTube, shit, you really did your research here. Man, you really dove anus first onto that bidet. You really did your research here. Fuck, 100 cases, I can't even count that high. Thanks, YouTube subscriber feedback development features improvement super mega turbo unit. You've saved the day again.
But as I said, we pay careful attention to your feedback, so please let us know if you think this has happened to you by using the feedback button in the app.
It's great to remind people that no matter where you're watching, there's a feedback mechanism for you to report things back to YouTube, and that'll go to the product team and they will further investigate. But I want to ask you,
Don't let this goober fool you. No one's gonna investigate whatever you try and complain about. They don't give a shit. The most they'll do for you is spit in your face. The feedback in the YouTube help forum is akin to Yahoo Answers. It's just so fucking useless.
Did this have anything to do with the way we handle closed accounts and spam accounts?
I like how he's theory crafting now. Oh, but what about the Higgs boson and the cat of Schrodinger? If we cross-reference those with Planck's constant, could that maybe play a role in this? Am I onto something here?
Really good question. So these two things are a little bit different. Closed accounts, those users just don't exist on YouTube anymore. So they don't count towards your subscriber numbers. You can see the number of closed accounts in YouTube Analytics. Spam works a little bit differently. When we flag an account as spam, that account doesn't count towards your subscriber number anymore either. But actually nothing changes for the user. We never unsubscribe them from your channel. So imagine we thought for some reason that you were a bot, Renato.
Okay.
Total hypothetical.
What the fuck are you giggling about, goofball? She wasn't making a joke. She's using you as an example. Or maybe he's just nervous she's on to him. Oh, bot. I'm not a robot. I'm a human. Good one. I'd also like to commend them because they win a full 30-ish seconds with no jump cuts, so that's a pretty big achievement.
But imagine we thought you were a bot. You wouldn't count towards the subscriber number anymore for channels, but you would still get their videos in your subs feed. If you have notifications turned on, you'd get those notifications. Nothing would actually change for you because we would never unsubscribe your account from those channels.
Yes, ideally that is how it should work. That is how it is designed to work. I think we all understand how it works, but something is wrong with it. There is a bug, a glitch with it. That is the problem. I don't think anyone ever speculated that actual human beings of the YouTuber subscriber feature nebula team were manually going into each and every one's channel and unsubscribing them from people randomly. Oh, yeah, let's check out X Vapor Smoke Pussy Lord 4000. It looks like he subscribed to a few channels. I'm not a big fan of that one. Unsubscribe. The problem is that there's a bug with it. You don't need to explain how it fucking works to us.
Okay, so to be super clear, even if I was flagged by accident, it would be business as usual on my end.
Exactly. You'd keep getting videos in your subs feed, everything would be normal.
So we've heard some reports from people that despite being subscribed to a channel, the videos from those channels don't always make it to the subs feed. What's up with that?
Every video that a creator uploads will show up in the subs feed for all of their subscribers by default. And in the last year, actually, we've made the subs feed more prominent on mobile, since that's where most of our users are. It's one of the main tabs in the mobile apps.
And how long does it...
Didn't even toy with the possibility that there's a bug with that. No, it's going to be there by default. I swear to God it will. Come hell or high water, that video's going to be there. Armageddon can rain down, you're still going to get your fucking subscriber video in your fucking subscriber feed. Which we've made a lot more prominent on mobile devices. Please pat us on the back.
It take for a video to make it to the subs feed? Because I can understand why if it takes a day or several hours, that a viewer might genuinely feel like they missed out on a video.
Usually, it's just a matter of minutes, and making this fast is one of the main things that my team works on. I was actually just looking at our dashboard, and for the month of November, it took an average of 30 seconds from the time a creator uploaded a video to the time it showed up in the subs feed for all of their subscribers.
Thanks so much, Cindy, for coming here and answering your questions. And the invitation for our community is that we want to make sure that we're answering the questions that are relevant to you. So leave us questions in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.
So there you have it. You happy now? They addressed our questions. Now we should be thankful that they took time out of their busy schedule to do that for us. Us fucking troglodytes and losers out here that are complaining about things that are legitimately wrong with the website. The time it took them to make this video was time that was taken away from them making incredibly new, awesome subscriber features, such as removing the ability to subscribe to begin with. Which quite honestly could be a possibility since YouTube doesn't give a shit about subscriptions or subscribers. All it cares about is keeping people on the site to watch the advertisements before the videos, which is why they're pushing that trending tab so fucking hard. So that's a pretty real possibility. Once again, YouTube, you have pissed into my bag of beef jerky with this awful attempt at transparency. Oh, we're listening, when in fact all you demonstrated was quite the opposite. You were very dismissive in this video. Oh yeah, we looked at 100 cases, there was nothing wrong there. You guys are lying to us, you're wrong, everything's working just fine. And we've even made it a little more prominent on mobile devices. Thank you for tuning in. All they had to do was just say, look, we haven't come across any problems yet, but we're going to keep looking at it and working to fix it. We're listening to you all, and we're going to get this sorted out. This could have been such a great step forward to YouTube if they weren't such tight-tittied assholes about it all. We didn't see anything, so you guys are wrong. We'll go ahead and take 3 minutes and tell you how these things work since you're all too stupid to understand. It's just dumb. I fucking hate YouTube and the way they conduct themselves. But yeah, so there's your explanation for the unsubscribing glitch and the subscriber feed not working at all. Alright, that's it. See ya.